I get asked a lot, how do you get so much done? Now, it's funny when people ask me this question because I don't think I get a lot done. I just think I get things done and I just try to be really efficient with my life. I'm raising 2 teenagers who are in competitive sports. I have a husband that I want to spend time with. I'm running my business and have volunteer activities. I'm the president of my Toronto Speakers chapter of the Canadian Association of Professional Speakers. Yeah, it's true. I have a lot going on, but I don't really think it's that much in terms of productivity until I get continually asked, what are your secrets? So I thought, well, I guess I probably should look back and figure it out. And I will tell you, it's lately when I have had so much to do. It's been really busy speaking season and I've been struggling to keep up with it, that I've actually started to realize when my productivity strategies have to go by the wayside because I'm so overwhelmed. That's the irony, right? It's hard to be productive when you're so overwhelmed. I've realized what some of these things are. So I'm ready to share them with you. But I just want to first acknowledge though, it's not your fault. If you're trying to figure out what systems work for you, what strategies, if you're beating yourself up because you feel like you're not getting enough done, that is not going to help. Believe me, tried it, doesn't work. So I really want to encourage you to think about, what are you already doing well? How are you productive despite some of the distractions, the roadblocks, the setbacks? And remember that there are certain strategies that are going to be harder for you than they are harder for other people. For example, executive functioning skills. This is something that I've learned as a concept of raising a child with ADHD, attention hyperactivity disorder. I've learned that there's certain executive functioning skills that are going to be challenging for a kid with ADHD than for somebody who doesn't. And the exact same thing applies as adults. And yet we expect ourselves to be everything to everybody. Now, by the way, if you're curious about what these executive functioning skills are, why don't you come on over to my Facebook group, Greatness Biz, because we talk a lot about that. And I have a tool for you, especially anyone who's in my virtual program. I have that, and we dive into that in a big way. So I just really hope you hear me before I dive into these productivity strategies. It is not your fault if you are struggling and still working on productivity hacks. It's got to fit for you, and it's got to acknowledge that some things will be easier for you than it might be for me, and vice versa. So the things that I'm sharing with you work for me. Just try the things that work and throw out the rest. Okay? Deal? Number 1, do the first things first. The most important things first. When I don't do this, because sometimes I don't follow my own good counsel, when I do not do this, I feel really frustrated. It means I have to work later. It means that I generally am dreading something that I've been putting off. Most of the time what I do though is whatever is most important, I get that done first. For example, filming with Stacy here, doing these vlogs. The very first vlogs I filmed today were the ones that absolutely had to get done non-negotiably. And once those were out of the way, energy and creativity freed up. I didn't have the worry. I didn't have them hanging over my head. So first things first. Next thing is block time for you to be productive. I know it sounds really counterintuitive, but I mean, when I film with Stacy, I batch film these things. We look on my calendar, when can we fit it in, and we book it well in advance. That way I can get Stacy, because she's in demand, everybody. So I need to book into her busy calendar, and I can look at when I'm not going to be running on empty trying to do these vlogs. You can watch past vlogs, and some of them you can probably tell she was tired. As opposed to today, first thing, Tuesday morning after a long weekend, I am good to go. I'm so excited to be here. And so we purposely pick the time where I'm going to have the most energy, and we have filmed more vlogs this morning than we would have been able to film in an entire day when I was drained and running on empty. Certainly a lot in just one take. So you need to prioritize first things first. And that's related to tip number 3, is block things out in your calendar. So for example, if you have, like in my business, downturns in your business, there are times when not a lot of people are booking speakers, people are off on vacation, so I don't have as many coaching appointments in my calendar. Those are the times to get other core project work done. For example, I wrote my book, Flip Side of Failing, that just came out this spring, in the month of July last year. Now, granted, we had done all the research, all the organization up to that point, and I had asked somebody who was more talented than me in doing the research, the transcription, getting things organized, again, so practicing strategy number 1. So by the time July came around, I got 65,000 words written in 1 month. And I have to say, I don't mind telling you, I'm pretty impressed with what we came up with. It would not have been a very good book had I been trying to fit it in 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there in the midst of the rest of my year, which is exceptionally busy. Now, some of you maybe don't have really high peaks and valleys in your job. You may need to block time in your busy week. I'm coaching some leaders right now and entrepreneurs who have to do that because their business is a bit more consistent. So they have to earmark blocks of time in their calendar. You look at any busy CEO's calendar, he or she will have blocks of time guaranteed. And their admin person blocks them as if it is like they have to, the most important thing is going on is their time. How are they going to get anything done otherwise? My fourth tip, work when you have energy. I'm a morning person. I could get up at 4 in the morning and hit the ground running. I am no good to you at midnight. And other people, it's the opposite. They are just dragging their feet. They're slow. They don't have the energy until about midday, and then they get their rev going. And in fact, they do their best work by the end of the day. Know what your natural cycle is. If it doesn't fit with how you're currently running your work hours, your business hours, why don't you talk with somebody about it? Figure out if you can shift it, or find some ways in your week that you can maybe shift your hours around, even if it can't be every day, so that you have productivity hours. One of my coaching clients is doing this very thing. Coming in a little bit later one day because she is really good in her evenings, and by shifting the whole thing, even if it's just one day, she gets so much more done, and it's when nobody else is in the office too. And so she's got uninterrupted time. Know what works best for you, where your energy is, what kind of environment you need to be able to keep your energy up, stay focused and productive. In fact, here's one bonus tip. Eliminate the distractions. Turn off your phone, turn off your email, Facebook, see you later for the next hour, work uninterrupted. In fact, if you're really struggling with this, here's a hack for you. Set your phone, which by the way is on silent, don't answer that phone, only put it to set your clock for 45 minutes and work uninterrupted for 45 minutes. And then when that dinger goes off, stop what you're doing, then go back to your email or answer Facebook or return a phone call or whatever. You need uninterrupted time. It takes you up to 8 minutes to get refocused after you have been distracted. So you got to eliminate the distractions, everyone, in order to be productive. I hope you found these tools helpful, and I hope you see that you're not that different than me and that you can be even more productive than you already are by trying out some of these strategies. What other strategies do you have? I would love for you to put those in the comment section, and let's share in community how to be our most productive, best versions of ourselves. Whether you're an entrepreneur, you're a leader, or it's your first day on the job, every one of us can be super productive and all the more satisfied and fulfilled in our work as a result. I hope we found huge value in some of these insights. Remember, there is a daily dose of Your Greatness Magnified. Every single Monday, you can subscribe to Greatness Magnified or go to our YouTube channel so that you never miss an episode.